So what's preventing us today from being world changers?
Yeah, well, just bluntly, laziness. I mean, and I don't mean to say that to be mean or to be rude, and we're actually going to talk about this a little bit in our sermon this Sunday as we dive into the book of Jonah, which we'll plug later, by the way. But obedience to God takes activity. Active obedience is important. I think sometimes in fact, this is going right along with something I'm going to say this Sunday. I think a lot of times we think that following Christ is more consuming than contributing. Oh, I'm doing my Bible studies. I'm going to church on Sunday. I'm in Connect group or whatever, and all those are great. Be part of those, but I think we forget that if you look through the Bible, the people that God has in the Bible were actively doing what God called them to do, and so I think as Christians, man, it's just a good reminder for us that changing the world requires us to get out of our comfort zone, to take risks, and to make ourselves, I mean, again, lack of better terms, be the hands and feet of Christ in our culture.
Oh yeah, and it's like you said, it's easier to be lazy. It's easier to be selfish and just do what you want to do. And you even just mentioned not being consumers, but being contributors. You mentioned that during your sermon of the church isn't just to consume from our community and take from our community, but to give back and to bless and benefit our community, which I think is so good. And we've talked about this so many times of just this idea of, actually putting into practice our faith. Yes, it is good to spiritually feed yourself. It is good to spiritually nourish yourself. It's good to learn more about God and His Word, but we need to apply that. And you've even said too of when you just get head knowledge, you become a bobblehead, and you're shaking your head, but you're not actually applying those things.
Yeah, and we're called to be poured out for the Lord, and so if all we're doing, and it's kind of like I referred to in the sermon that a ship can't be out of balance when it's going down the river or floating, or has to be balanced, and we can't be too extreme in either of these. We need the head knowledge. We need to know Christ. We need to be mature believers in the Word. But at the same time, if we're never taking that knowledge and putting it into practical use, that would be, the same thing as a doctor going to medical school and getting all the knowledge of how to perform operations, but then never going and practically learning how to do it. I mean, it would be kind of the same thing. And so it's important for us to remember that not just and I want people to listen to this, not just, we're talking about not being consumers of our community, but believers as a church, we're not just to be consumers of our church, we're to be contributors to the church. And I think sometimes we view that, I'm coming to church, but no, we're not called here just to come and consume information. We are to contribute, and this is nowhere in the sermon, but it just kind of stuck with me right now, and that's kind of what we call the church consumeristic model, where what does the church have for me? What can I glean? And we need to go places we're being fed and we can serve, but at the same time, God puts us places where we can contribute to His work, not just consume from other people doing His work.
Oh yeah, and there's a selfishness in that of, yes, it's good, the church should bless you, there's benefits of that, but if you only think about yourself, then that's not going to change the world. It starts with us caring about others before ourselves, just like Jesus said He came to serve and rather than to be served.